What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
OD
Podcast.
Podcast. Period. Hello. This is Hattie Mae Pierce.
Oh, I was not
You
expecting
remember
that.
that?
Yeah. Mama's house?
When I was a kid, I used to love Bow Wow, but for a split second I thought that boy, the grandson, was
Mm-hmm.
Bow Wow in that movie. I did not know better. This was early in my obsession, and I just thought that because Bow Wow was on the soundtrack for that movie. And so I just knew that he was making a breakout as an artist and an actor. And that boy looked nothing like Bow Wow. And I used to be like, oh, he cut his hair for the movie, but it wasn't him.
To be fair, we didn't have social media, so we don't be seeing these people every second of
We
the day.
learned everything the long way.
So we had to wait. A lot of times we didn't see these. A lot of our favorite artists we didn't see in months, like nothing,
Yeah.
and it was perfectly normal. And then
Yeah,
back
like I would
then,
only see what Bow Wow looked like in magazines, like at
yeah, like
award
they would
shows.
have like fan websites.
Yeah,
I
exactly. You
miss
get like these
those.
quote unquote. It's funny that you said it because I always think about this. The way people demand music from artists when it's artists that was like riding a wave of the same album for like 5 years. They
No,
would drop a single once a year. Like it just would be a thing. And it wouldn't ever be a moment where you didn't know what they were doing. Like that song would get played on the radio, get played in music videos. They would go on tour. Like they would always go on tour after dropping an album. So that momentum will always be fire. But now people they want 3 albums a year from these folks. It's crazy.
yeah, like damn, I just drew a blank. I'm still in your word. Uh, um, no, I remember growing up, like the websites was like the way that we seen like new pictures of them, but even them, they probably took them a whole 2 years in advance. They just was dropping them a little bit.
I literally used to go to GettyImages.com to see if they had new pictures of Bow Wow.
Yep, I
And you
remember
couldn't
that.
even right click. You had to buy the licensing for the photo. It might be different today, but yeah, example of that I have is Bruno Mars. I know when Bruno Mars had performed at the Super Bowl, Unorthodox Jukebox had dropped 4 years before that performance, and and this was in social media, but it was several years ago. But it's like wow, like an album being that iconic, and he still hasn't dropped that many albums. But I also think that he is an iconic performer, so he might not be the best example, but a lot of these people, like like a lot of the artists that we grew to love, they had demos, I guess you can say, or music that they made years before we got to know who they were. But these new people, their first song ever is their first hit. So it's like
Mhm.
they didn't even get to build a portfolio and really work on their craft. It's just like a boom. You
Yeah.
thought I was feeling you.
Um,
Well,
um. Side note. Um. We'll see about Miss Ice Spice. 'Cause,
I mean, if she can make it, no shade to her. She got a unique look ish. Well, she got a unique wig.
that's her
And the
hair.
song,
No,
huh?
that's not her hair.
No, it's not her hair. That's a wig. The
Oh,
song sucks, but the line is catchy. And I'm not here to hate because I've had to come to terms with all the music that's gonna come out this era that's gonna actually be popular is gonna be trash. I just had to come to terms with it. So it is what it is. But yeah, it just was a time where people had to like if people had an artist they wanted to like really blow up, they would just take them everywhere with them. And we wouldn't really know. We would just know who we would recognize them and they will finally drop music. Or if somebody was a big artist, they would be featured on somebody's song before. Like I remember Ashanti, she was featured on a Ja Rule song way before we got an album or anything from her.
yeah, yeah. I do feel like artists do miss out on a lot. That's what I was trying to say earlier when I had drew a blank. But I do feel like artists do miss out on building because I feel like I'm gonna use Summer Walker as an example. When she came out, everybody was complaining because she always said like, "Oh, I have social anxiety. I don't want to perform in front of these people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that." But see, like back in the day, you had to work your way up. So when she was
Mhm.
on stage, she was looking uncomfortable. And now she looks way more comfortable. But this is like 3, 4 years after she initially said that she didn't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So it's taking her a minute. But with those type of people, they work their way up. They had artist development. They actually work with people who train them to, how to maneuver through the industry, what to do, what not to do. You
yeah,
still
they
have
get to
people.
like do a job shadow per se. So
Yeah.
it's not a shock when it happens. And also they're not as entitled yet, in my opinion, because a lot of these folks they want that check right now. And I can't
Hmm.
be mad at that necessarily because it's possible. But there's some humility that comes with like wait, staying down
Oh,
for the
for
come
sure,
up.
for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I say the same thing. Um, I do also feel like that presence of people in the industry isn't there no more because of how it was ran back then. Yeah,
Hmm.
like yeah, we had a better quality um, group of artists that we grew up on, but also if you look at how they came up in the industry, all of them have like crazy industry stories, and it's because of the people that kind of groomed them for the industry. So now that there's less,
Yeah, like controlling, abusive, and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah, yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So I feel
And then
like
not to mention the contracts that they were
exactly
looking to and
that's
didn't
the
have the
part I was
proper
getting out
guidance.
too.
Yeah.
The contracts and stuff like that. So I do feel like that's another reason why, and people are promoting more so like, um, oh, we like more artists that be themselves and da 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 da. But even you say you want these people to be themselves, and then when they're being themselves, you have a problem with that.
I wonder if this is just a hip hop thing.
No, it's R&B too though, because I
I mean,
feel
that's what I mean. Well, I mean black. I just hip
I
hop, R&B,
yeah
we obviously own that,
because
but I'm wondering if other industries push their artists out as quick. I think that when it comes to like viral sounds, super hits, that's a black culture thing. Like we run TikTok, we run all
for
that.
sure.
But like these other genres, are they having the same popcorn success that we're seeing?
I don't know. I don't know because even when I think about people like Taylor Swift, I don't necessarily listen to her, but I won't just sit here and deny like she didn't work her way up to be where she is. You
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying?
somebody could be huge like Taylor Swift or Bad Bunny, and we ain't heard a single song from him. But these are like international superstars,
Yep.
superstars.
I think that it's just because just like anything else, we only looking at things that's in our community, and we're mostly surrounded about black people. You don't know
Yeah,
nobody listening to no Bad Bunny or Taylor Swift, not for
yeah. I
real.
just know that one Cardi B song, but and I think that's one of the things that benefits Cardi B too, because she has the Latin community and the Black
Yeah, yeah,
community.
yeah,
So, a big ups to that. But it's ironic that you say that because somebody today asked me about a viral video, and they were like, "Yeah, it got like 3 million views," but I'm like, it could be a million viral videos at one time, and I can only see one of them. You know what I'm saying? Viral
yeah,
is only relevant to the audience that it's intended for.
yeah, for sure.
But anyway,
Mhm.
but yeah, speaking of music though, I've been hearing this particular statement a lot lately, and it was actually shocking to me that there are so many rappers that said they were inspired by Chief Keef. I had no idea.
Backstory. Um, I've always said this. And people looked at me like I was crazy only because people in our generation don't really listen to Chief Keef.
Is it a regional thing though? I think that's a Chicago because I feel like after Chief Keef,
No,
so many Chicago people. Okay,
no, like literally, Chief Keef is probably one of the most influential current rappers. And the only reason why I say that is because of um people still using his slang. Like a lot of the slang that rappers use, they got it from him.
I just
Um
know Broke Boy,
the song.
the words, the
Oh,
slang.
yeah, no, a lot of people, and then like he's friends with pretty much everybody in the industry too. Like, and they
Does he still
all
make music?
know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like, he don't even live that life no more. Because I know you remember when he first
okay. Because
came
I used
out,
to be
and he was
scared of him.
yeah, like he was like such a badass child. He would he would just be in a lot of trouble
Making a lot of kids.
making a lot of kids, and then boom, he just changed his life. Like he probably still does make music, but he literally moved to California and he just be ducked off. This man be getting facials, getting his nails done. He be at the pool, just chilling.
That's
He
so
got he do
crazy.
have a label now, so he signs artists to his label. But I know like with street connections and stuff like that, it's definitely some street stuff behind it too. Because I do feel like even Young Thug was inspired by him.
Or Lil Wayne. You don't think it was Lil Wayne?
It was both.
Lil Wayne bred both of them rappers.
Lil Wayne is everybody. I mean, everybody is under that umbrella of
And you
Lil
know
Wayne.
what's funny? People used to before Thug was as big as he is. Like this is like when he didn't even have no hair. people in the streets. I sound like Mama Joyce, but people in the streets used to say that he was copying off of Lil Wayne, and I never could see it. But I was looking at it from the quality of Lil Wayne at that time versus Young Thug.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I was looking at G Herbo on the Breakfast Club today, and him and Charlamagne was talking about the Chief Keef influence and how he got. This was what made me think Lil Wayne, because he was saying that Chief Keef is the reason why a lot of dudes in Chicago was wearing True Religions or getting their lips pierced and stuff like that. And I'm like, to me, True Religion was inspired by the rich kids era. You know what I'm saying? And then the lip piercing, I will get that to Lil Wayne, even though we had our lip piercings already. But as far as like the street dudes getting piercings, that was not a thing until Lil Wayne
no,
took
no, no,
one.
no, for sure,
They
yeah,
weren't even wearing skinny jeans, and they sure wasn't getting skateboards. He had folks in the hood getting skateboards, bro. That's
tight skinny
crazy.
jeans. Yeah, Lil Wayne definitely inspired a lot, and I always reference Lil Wayne when I'm talking about my style because I remember in high school just buying like the stuff from Hot Topic and all this other stuff. I got that from Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually it was an Atlanta thing. Shop Boys had brought that kind of swag to
Oh,
Atlanta,
they sure did.
but it was definitely a Lil Wayne thing before anybody.
Yeah, and I will say that was original because I don't know who would compare Lil Wayne to.
Yeah, Lil Wayne successfully merged hip hop and rock, and that's the reason why
No, Jay-Z did.
I always say that
I've become
people
so numb.
everybody under him, all the rappers are under that umbrella. If you're looking at any rapper that's on the charts, I will say I don't think that people like Lil Baby or Lil Durk, they are necessarily directly inspired by Lil Wayne, but definitely Lil Uzi, Playboy Cardi, Young Thug, all these people that kind of have the same vibe. I don't know. It ain't the same thing, but it's the same vibe. But even like the noises, Lil Wayne used to remember Lil Wayne had the auto tune. He was making noises and stuff like that. I always hear that when I'm listening to Lil Wayne and Uzi and other people.
Yeah, I definitely think they all were influenced by Lil Wayne. But what's a shame is these. I don't know about Uzi and them in particular, but these people would, and maybe it's the 33-year-old in me. But
Yeah,
like for example, we obviously know Nicki Minaj has influenced a lot of the young rappers in this generation. But the young people act like Nicki, like Lil Kim never existed. Like they literally refer to her as a has been. That is crazy. And a lot of them are relating back to like chart data, but that does not matter when we talk about cultural impact. Like
yeah,
people can have a big stuff can go quadruple platinum in the hood and never even hit a Billboard chart. But of course, Nicki Minaj became a crossover artist. Cardi B became a crossover artist. But we talking about Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. We could even throw in Rod Digger, all of them. Even Remy Ma, like they was not like those crossover per se artists, but they were big for the moments that they had in our community. So it's just crazy that people. It's like when people talk about like history and they want to refer to us in the history books, but we know that there's so much more to the story than what was made to a McGraw Hill book.
that's definitely a good analogy. But yeah, I'll say the same. And it's only because they didn't grow up listening to these people or seeing them in front of their face until
Right, because of social media, because we again had to rely on 106 and Park.
yes,
But yeah, it's just I hate for people to not get their credit, and I hate for I'm real
I
passionate
agree.
about history. I hate for history not to be told correctly, and I just think it's unfair for the younger generation who literally only knows what the impact of the internet, to understand. Like it's like for example, like before we were born, our parents didn't always everybody didn't have TVs, everybody didn't have like certain access to certain things, but people were hit makers. People were icons on just the radio. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
think it's just necessary to give credit where it's due. And obviously, social media completely changed everything, but it does not take away from the impact and the quality that people had, especially when we talking about selling records. People had to get up and go to a record store. They couldn't just pick up their phone, pay a flat fee every month and stream and stream and stream. You bought an album, that's your album that you sold. People got up no matter the weather, it was sell out. You know what I'm saying? That to me, it does not compare to streaming because there's so many ways to get around that. That's all. And I'm
mm,
not hating on it, but I feel like when people break certain records, they need to be a streaming chart and there needs to be a physical album sales chart. And that's on to me that should matter. But
yeah.
whatever. Who
um,
am I?
it ain't really no place you can buy albums no more, like CDs and stuff. I mean, you can buy them on the phone, but if I'm paying for a subscription, to stream music every month, I'm not buying no album.
Okay,
I
well start a new chart then. You get what I'm saying?
mean,
Nobody should be outselling Aretha Franklin when she ain't have a chance to compete on the chart data. even though she
It just
can
don't come with
today,
the time. Yeah.
but it's not the same. So whatever. That's between me and God. All right, let's get into the episode.
I
So
love kiss it up to God today.
okay, so y'all know that I recently got my braces off, and a couple of things that I needed done. I had to get a partial implant for the back of my mouth because those there are a couple of teeth back there that I had pulled, which is the reason why I had to get braces to begin with. So I got a partial implant done by Dr. Johnson, who I already made a Black Business of the Week. But the last thing on my list for my teeth to be how I want them is to get gum contouring or crown lengthening. And basically, the contouring is the reshaping of the gums around the teeth. Crown lengthening is exposing more of the teeth that is hidden behind the gum. So I
Mm.
don't have a super gummy smile, but I definitely have I have enough teeth to uncover that's not being shown when I smile. In addition to that, due to genetics, some of my gums are longer than the others. So if I smile, now you probably can't see. So you can see this, but you can't see that on that side.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're gonna basically laser those gums off to make it. And I think I talked about this on another episode, but they're just gonna laser my gums to where I have a like the window, the church window, where it's like round at the top, flat at the
Yeah.
bottom. That's basically the look I'm going. The look that people try to get when they get veneers, except it's gonna really be my teeth and it's gonna really be my gums. But anyway, my favorite dentist in the whole wide world referred me to a periodontist named Dr. Maria. You know what? It might be Mariah, Marya Barnes. I think it's Mariah because she black. Dr. Mariah Barnes. She's super cool. So first of all, I have a really good relationship with my dentist. Like I talk to him like he my homeboy. Just like how I'm talking to y'all right now. That's how I talk to
Oh,
Dr. Johnson. He always, tell me he like my energy. Blah, blah, blah. He was like, I want you to go to Dr. Barnes because I think you'll really like her. Like y'all have a similar personality. Baby, he was right. Dr.
oh my
Barnes so
God.
cool. We were talking about the West End and how all these white folks in the West End, why they don't, but it just was so funny. So anyway, she is very well tenured. Even her Google reviews, she got a darn near perfect score on Google out of 483 reviews, and the reviews don't lie. And she on the South Side. You got a tough
Oh,
crowd out there.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so my Black Business of the Week is going to be Atlanta Periodontal Group by Dr. Mariah J. Barnes, and the address is 1580 Phoenix Boulevard, 150, Atlanta, Georgia 30349. It's right there by the airport, right down where that McDonald's at. You know the McDonald's right there off Riverdale Road, but well, about before you get to Riverdale Road, I don't even think it's Riverdale Road, but you know what I'm talking about.
Phoenix Boulevard is very triggering for me.
Oh Lord, what happened?
Oh no, that was around. That's it. Give me jail.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, they can also be reached at atlantaperiogroup.com. As always, I'll put the information in the episode notes. But she is a black queen, like for real, for real. And we were talking about all the food spots over there in the West End by Slutty Vegan. She very well accredited and educated. I mean, and she's a veteran, if I'm not mistaken. Board certified, all that. But she started working at this practice in 2011. But she's super cool. Dr. Johnson really got down with his referral. Like he really knows me, and I'm really particular about who I work with, but I love a hood and educated provider. And I
Hmm.
won't call her hood, but she is hood adjacent. She probably was code switching, but she off the top showed love. And let me tell y'all something too. Before I got braces, I went to this place in Lawrenceville to get a consultation for veneers, which is what even kicked off this whole effort that I'm working on right now. And they actually quoted me for my gum contouring, and it was a lot of money. It was like maybe $5,000. But when I went to Dr. Barnes, she explained to me that having too much gums can lead to like bacteria buildup and all these things that are not good in the long run. And she was able to submit my treatment as a covered service. It would not have been covered if I went to the guy in Lawrenceville. So I'm just paying like $600 for this service. That's like
Oh
a lot of
wow.
you get, and that's just off of her. This is why I think it's important, especially when it comes to medical providers, to be able to have a transparent conversation. Because the guy I went to, it was strictly cosmetic, but she really was informing me of like, it's good that you come in here to get this because this is something that can cause. And I don't need no teeth problem. I don't spend several $1,000s on these natural teeth, baby, and I need them to be right. So anyways, I'm gonna put the information in episode notes. If y'all ever thought of, because when I actually posted about gum contouring, I got a lot of DMs for people who either didn't know that was a service, knew somebody that got it, or wanted to get it and didn't know what it was called. So I'm happy that talking about this kind of stuff can make people, kind of bridge a gap or learn about something new. Like, you could people have baby teeth and they think they need veneers, but you could just get them. And this is an impact. This is not. I say impact. This is something they use local anesthesia for. So they're just gonna numb me, and I'm going home same day. I don't gotta go
Yeah.
under or nothing like that. So this is a very minimally invasive
You just can't eat
service
no
that you can
crab
get.
legs for about a week, but you'll be all right.
It's okay. It's okay though. They said I was just. I said they said that all I need about a week and a half to get and I'm be back to normal. But and they could have did it same day, but I had left out from work and all the other stuff, and I want to take a full day off just so I can have a full day off. So anyway, Atlanta Periodontal Group, Dr. Mariah Barnes. That's the girl. Tell I sent you. She gonna be like who? But it's okay. She gonna know me real soon.
Mm,
Um, now let's move on to tweets from the streets. Talk about this. I want to talk about the stuff I've been seeing from the Impact. Have you watched it?
will nobody give me that BT Plus? I don't got
Ain't
BT
it like
Plus.
$1?
Is it?
I don't
I
know.
ain't
I
never
saw that.
checked. I just be using other people's stuff.
So I just think it's interesting because there's been a lot of debate. First of all, this is where I get cringe because the girlies get so far up these people's behinds that they think they know them in real life. It's always weird seeing people debate these celebrities or these influencers in the comments. Like they come up with these theories on why they do what they do, and they literally do not even know them. It's so crazy. But anyway, so I just saw that I guess the show is really airing on a like basically painting Jada to be the bad guy, and Ari to be the good guy, and that could be the case. It could not be the case, but I just something that one of the particular clips I saw today was basically about. Long story short, Ari was inviting Jada to an event that she had because she was celebrating a magazine cover and getting her Instagram back. But Jada said that she couldn't come because she had plans already to do with Des. And like right there in the girl face, Tay and Ari calling her like fake and flaky or whatever all they said. But anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because people talk about like okay, number one, I think that people assume because they hold the position they do in pop culture, black pop culture, that they are friends or besties. I think people need to hang up that idea that they should be friends or be like tight as they want them to be. I understand that they might have used to be neighbors, but that literally was like living in a darn content house. Might as well say, like, you know what I'm saying? They doing things together to get the fellowship. But I don't know. I just feel like people need to understand the difference between like coworkers and then obligations. Like people shouldn't. I don't like. I'm not. I will say this. I'm not a flake. I'm gonna say no up front. But I don't feel like people. If we're not that tight, I should not be feel obligated to come to your event. Now, if you come to mine, that's one thing because that's what I'm seeing people say also that I always go to Jada stuff. But I don't know. I obviously need to watch the show more for context, but I just wasn't sure on your perspective on that kind of behavior.
Um, I think that the problem with their situation for me is that they built kind of like a image that on social media that made it seem like they were closer than they probably actually are in
Yep.
real life. And
Yep.
so that's where the problem lies because they're used to doing these things. Um, they're used to doing these things together, and now it's like, okay, we definitely don't do these type of things no more. You don't do it and I don't do it. Now we're kind of grown up figuring each other out. I'm going this way, I'm going to that. Obviously I probably don't want to be around certain things because that's what it reads off to me, is that Jada is just kind of like removing herself from certain people or from around that group because they carry drama. I mean, even you have to look at the type of person Ari that Ari is, and just call a spade a spade. She always online being very mean and rude, and very argumentative and saying very crazy things. And Jada's not really like that. And obviously Ari has lost money from doing this type of stuff. So if I was Jada, I'm like, girl, I don't want to be around that shit anyway because you're not finna stop my bad.
Right, and
So
I
I
know
get
that
it.
Jada didn't have the best image online either, but she did a quick cleanup, and I think that that's where that's
Yeah, she had to
that
separate.
innocent image came from.
Yeah, she had to separate herself from that, and she sees that she's getting a more positive result being around her actual friends,
Yeah, and that's what. Yep, yep, yep. I agree.
you know. So it's like I feel like I've been through something like this too many times with my friends because it's always kind of like people always tell me like my life is just so entertaining to them because of the people around me and the stuff that I do, that they're so used to seeing me with certain people. But it's just like, okay, I'm the type of person where I change my mind a lot. Like it may not be like as frequent, but after a while I'm over it. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to move on, something else. Like
Yeah,
I promise y'all, I be having like days where I just be want to just take scissors and cut my hair off. Ain't nothing wrong.
day
It, it,
after day. Oh,
it's
that's the
been
wrong
there too
song.
long. I just feel
Yeah.
like it's been on my head for 2 years. I've never had a hairstyle pretty much that well since I was a kid. But I don't be having my hairstyles that long. I'm
No,
just
you
that
can
kind of
you can cut
person.
them off and get them put back in if you wanted to. My cousin did that.
I don't feel like that. But no, I do feel like I had a bump in the road with one of my friends because of something like that before too, though, and we got over it because we realized that we're just two different people. Like we can be friends and be different, but I think that the
Yeah.
problem was that everybody was so used to seeing us do things alike that he didn't want to break that cycle. And I'm like, we're two different
Mm-mm. You
people,
gotta
and
do what works for you.
that's
I'm
what
so
I'm saying.
glad that all of my friends know it's gonna always be a no for me,
Every
unless I
time,
planned it.
every time.
But it's okay because I do not get judged. It's the new people that have a problem with it. It's the new people I gotta explain that I do not drink. It's the you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, just come out, oh, just drink. No, why can't no be enough?
They just be wanting you to have fun in they type of environment, but that's not your environment. So
Right, and I have fun and don't have but their type of fun ain't even this is not to sound like uppity, but it's not even different. It's not even unique, especially the drinking thing. I'm like, if I tell you I don't drink, why would I choose now because you asked me to do it?
I think that when people hear, because it's so uncommon, as crazy as that sound, it's so uncommon to hear somebody say that they don't drink, that they be thinking that people be playing, or they probably thinking you saying that because you had like a recent bad drinking experience. Like, oh, I got hung over
I'm
like
gonna
two
start
days.
saying I'm sober so they can think I was an alcoholic and I went
There we
to
go.
then they gonna start looking awkward. Yeah, mind your business.
I mean, don't. I mean, yeah, if you don't want them to ask you that, but
I'm like,
it's
no,
probably
I'm
why
30 days
though.
sober
Like,
and
oh,
watch
I
it
don't
get
drink.
quiet.
Because every time people, I ain't gonna lie though, every time people tell me they don't drink, they always end up drinking. Every time.
Well,
I had this
that's
girl.
on them.
I even had this girl. My first time ever going to New York, I went to this club called the DL. Um, what a
The
what
drink
a
lover.
beautiful name. But the DL, I forgot what it stands for though. But the DL is a really popular like artsy crowd or whatever. So I ended up going out with one of my friends who's an artist, and a lot of those art kids up there that do a lot of the a lot of alternative things are on drugs, and I don't judge. I'm not doing it. I
You
don't care
don't judge drugs. That's a first.
I'm saying. I do, but not out loud. I ain't that rude. You know what I'm saying?
Only on the podcast is it out loud.
Yeah, this is a safe space for me.
Okay, I got you.
Um, but um, yeah, so I knew that he does drugs or whatever. So I went to the party and I was expecting that. But
hmm
he ended up meeting up with his other friend who was totally opposite of him. She was like a regular girl from the hood, and she was like fussing at him because he was asking her for money, and she was like, "I'm so tired of you asking me for money. I know what you're gonna do with my money." He was like, "I'm not even gonna buy coke. I'm gonna buy Molly." And in
Oh
my
my
head, I'm
God. Is that better?
like, "What's the fucking difference?"
Oh
And so,
wow. He on that water.
it, and so he left and came back. He took the money, came back, and he brought back coke. What he said he wasn't gonna do.
Mm-mm.
And so she started going off on him, and she was telling me why she felt that way. She was like, I just don't like seeing him like, doing that. And I know he think he's having fun, but it's not, and blah blah blah. So he walked back over there, and she started going off on him. He literally stopped her mid sentence and said, "Girl, shut up," and dipped in the bag and put it to her nose. I walked out. I didn't know what type of work. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, "You just did."
Yeah, you might as well threw up and drank it bad. That what's the difference? I'm like Jesus.
Alicia, my mind was so blown because she was really upset at him for doing that, and then he was like, "Girl, shut up." He literally went in the bag and put it to her nose, and she sniffed it. I was like,
See, I don't be faking about my soberness.
"Me
I
neither."
now I'm not too good to if I'm on a date or something, I'm just having a really good time. I'm like, okay, whatever. And I literally don't even finish it because I hate how it tastes. I regret it every time. But it's like if I say no, then let no be like don't peer when I was a kid, they used to use the term peer pressure and I thought it was so corny, but it's very real.
Yeah, and drinking isn't even that good. Like honestly,
It
it's
literally tastes
disgusting.
nasty and it makes you feel sick. Like,
Yeah,
why do y'all want to be sick?
exactly. That's why I started smoking more
And
because
it
I don't.
costs money and it's got high in calories. It's a lot of wasted calories.
Mm, 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 mm. Say no to
Anyways,
drugs, y'all. But I've definitely. Experienced a lot of things. Thank God, I'm glad to say I've never tried any drug outside of weed. Well, I tried lean before. I drank lean before, but that
I
was it.
never had no other.
But weed, that was it. I never took a pill before. Never did no nothing, no psychedelic drugs, no powder. How you say it? Powder.
Powder with no hard ER.
Mm.
All right, let's move on to shop talk. All right, so as I was going to say earlier, Cynthia Bailey and Mike Hill are apparently divorcing. Let me tell you something. Cynthia Bailey is a beautiful woman, but I never, ever, ever saw a long future with her and Mike Hill. This man literally said in front of his kids that he never loved their mother. He wrote a book and talked about how he pretty much cheated on every woman he's ever been with. Ain't got nothing but female friends. Like this is and then they I guess them getting married is the reason why she left Real Housewives, like she moved to LA. But I think her and just like many women have terrible discernment. There was nothing. It's just like Sheree dating this Martell guy right now. Like, what exactly do you think is gonna come of this? And I think Mike is very successful, and he's not attractive to me, but I could tell he might have looked better in his younger days. No
Yeah,
shade.
no, I feel you.
He got his life together, so I can see why she would enjoy being with somebody like him, and he's got a nice personality. After she was with Peter, who was controlling, a businessman nonetheless, very attractive as well, but still similar like behavior. So I don't know what the reason was, but I'm pretty sure he cheated on her, and he probably been cheating on her because the rumors had come out before, and I remember that they had got stopped in the airport about it, and they denied it, blah blah blah. But Cynthia is very nice, and I think she just wants to be in love, but she don't been married or engaged. She been engaged several times, been
Yeah.
married at least twice. I
Um,
don't know.
I don't watch the
This
show. I be wanting to because just so I won't feel left out, but I don't watch the show.
Well, she probably about to come
But
back anyway. Even though people didn't really like her on the show, I didn't mind her, but I never have a problem with the like mellow cast members. Like a lot of people on Real Housewives of Potomac, they don't like what's the Robin. I like Robin, even though she's not like she doesn't bring a lot to the show.
um, yeah, I don't know. I don't watch the show, so I don't have too much say so. I mean, I did work Cynthia's wedding, the same wedding. That's crazy, huh? I did makeup for that wedding. That's crazy. And now they're getting a divorce.
And that was a beautiful wedding.
Yeah. What I will say about a lot of women that I see that around her age group and who are in that light, um, I always notice that they rush into these relationships and marriages, and I don't know if it's an age thing. And I don't want to be sounding like I'm talking down on black women if it's coming off like that because I'm not trying to.
I
But
get it.
this is just an observation. Um, I don't know if it's an age thing or what, and they probably feel like, oh, they're getting older, they want to settle down, and blah blah blah. But I don't even think people realize that you're setting yourself up for failure by doing that. Like
Yeah.
I think that the problem, because I mean I know so many people that's like that, like famous and not famous, that just they're getting older, including myself. I do feel like I'm feeling guilty that I'm single right now, so I'm trying to make efforts into fixing that and just trying to whatever. But um, I never want to be in a situation, or even people around me. I never want to be in a situation where like um I feel like I have to be with somebody just because my life could be complete. I guess. Like I don't really.
Yeah, and I don't know why we think that because where did that mindset? It's because we were told that that was what it
We
was.
were told by we watched what white people did. If I'm being honest, we had to be Christian. We had to grow up in a Christian household. You have to have. You got to get married. You can't have sex before marriage. You got to do this. You have to follow
And
certain.
everybody who said that one ain't do it either. But
That's what I'm saying.
I
But
actually know a
but be,
couple
but
that
being
waited.
gay is where they draw the line.
Mm. I
But
know a couple that stayed virgins until marriage, and they wedding didn't even last because the girl didn't even want to have sex. Like she just was like,
oh,
you know,
even after that, she was just like, I waited
you
this long.
know, I can't speak on your behalf, but at first it'd be like, oh, that's it. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think that she just wasn't excited about it because she had never done it before. That's all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Bless you.
But I
Oh,
do hate that I think it's natural to crave companionship and partnership, but I
yes.
do hate that we all think that we're supposed to like get married, have this fairy tale happily ever after because
Who
that's
gave?
not how it
Who,
goes.
but
Every
my thing
problem.
is, who gave us this life syllabus? Because I want them to take it back.
Yeah, and that's why I like people that take the non-traditional route because it's like think about this. If somebody is like a good person to you, you think they're great to you, et cetera, and they have certain flaws that you don't like, those flaws are going to be multiplied times 1,000 when you get married. It's not just a matter of talking about it and call me when you get home. You live in the same house, you're typically you can't leave. You know what I'm saying? It's just not people almost every married person I know wishes they didn't get married when they did or even have kids when they did. It's one thing to be in a relationship, but even being pressed about that, it's like, well, then what?
Hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get it though. Nobody wants to be lonely. And I think in reality, people want to have ownership of that person. I hate to sound like a hotel, but it's like you want to lock that person down because you like what they do for you and you don't want anybody else to have them. So you have to make them be in a relationship with you so that you can have that companionship for you forever.
Alicia, where did you come up with that?
You don't think that's true?
Maybe now I do. You don't put the thought in my head.
Well, I'm just saying people are, human beings were naturally selfish. I mean, you think about it. You meet a good man, he's fine, he dressed good, he's successful. I want him. And if he don't make it official with me, then he probably dating other people. So let me make sure he know that I'm his person. And now you know what I'm saying? Instead of just having a friendship, like I always say, just have a friendship, just chill. And if they are somebody that's gonna date multiple people, then and you don't want somebody that does that, then that's probably not the person that you want.
Hmm. Okay.
And you can't make people do that because when you do force that or you do put the pressure on them to only be committed to you when they're not ready, then there's resentment. And now you got other issues to be dealing with. And I'm no like I guess I don't know, I'm no expert obviously, but I just have learned that it's just not about ownership. It's just about existing with somebody that's fire. And if y'all have a mutual understanding on what y'all want things to look like and y'all both are honestly delivering that, then that's one thing. But you just can't make people put those boundaries or titles on something that y'all have because it's what you want. It has to
This
be
is
mutual.
true.
That's
And you know what's so crazy? I also feel like that comes with a part of like that life syllabus that we all been fed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's like, oh, it has to be. It's like I love when people get irritated about me saying I want to have my own room when I get married. Or I want my own house when I get, and it's if I get married. But I also know so many married people that don't even sleep in the same room together. They be like, dang, can I just breathe?
Yeah. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Y'all grandmamas and granddaddies does not sleep in the same room together. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
dang, you do not have to be up somebody's behind. Jesus, you already got the same address. What more do you want?
yeah.
And then y'all want the same bank account. Oh, you don't lost it. The day I share an account is the day I go back to working at Starbucks. Cause what? Tuh, you ain't finna get my
I
money.
forgot you worked at Starbucks. Jesus
Sure
Christ.
did 3 months. Man, I made the mess out of them frappuccinos. But nah, I'm just saying, I just feel like, and this is something I've had to learn over the years. I just feel like we just put too much pressure on it. And to think about the grand scheme, like I was 22 at one point thinking I was ready to get married. Oh my God. But it's because at that moment, at that time in life, I thought I was ready because simply because I was in love. And that was it.
Yeah. And that's what they teach us. Who's
Yeah. Well,
they?
I
I
don't even know
don't
if
know,
they
but
teach
that's
it. I
what we
just
were
think that
taught.
we haven't experienced life enough. So we think that we know enough to make a permanent decision.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't.
Mm.
Forever's a long time, y'all. I'm gonna say that every time. It's a really, really long time. But nobody wants to be lonely. I get it. I don't want to be lonely, so I'm not gonna trip. But I just think that people should stop pressuring. Because I think that if it was a law where the government where the government was like, thou shalt not let people know who you're dating, people would be living in the life they really wanted.
Mm.
Because it's all for public acceptance. It's all about what
It
people
really
think.
is, and that's
Yeah, it is. I
crazy.
know.
That's why you know what, I told myself that this next situation or like when whoever I'm dating or talking to at the time, and if we start being in a relationship, I'm keeping it. I mean, I don't even want it on the close friends. I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
I don't want
Shoot,
nothing.
me either.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it. I don't want it to be a thing where it seems like I'm trying to hide him, and I hope he don't feel like that with me because I told him that up front. But
Oh, come on, him. Him,
oh wow,
him,
I'm
him,
talking about
him.
something. Oh
He,
wow, I ain't
he,
even mean to be
he,
bringing
he.
myself into this, but I guess since we're here now, it just kind of slipped out. I ain't mean to do that, but obviously there's a guy. Um,
I feel you, Pooh. I just think
but
like you. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I told him up front. I was just like, Um, I'm not trying to be like. I don't crave attention, especially when it comes to this type of stuff. I will. I just. I mean, keep everything else out. I don't care
Yeah,
about
you
nothing else.
should.
You know what I'm
Because the
saying?
moment you open people up to that, they feel like they know and they feel like they need to know. And then everything you do now, you gotta have. It's just like even when you think about weddings and stuff. And I believe in having a beautiful wedding and celebrate with your people, but people go all out because of what they want people to think about the seriousness of their love. Even when it comes to the rings, now I don't have a preferred price on how expensive a ring should look, but I do want it to be a nice ring.
Yeah.
And I think that people want this, oh, he dropped a bag, oh, he did all that because they want people to say that when they see the ring. But people over time don't even be having a ring on. It's like you did all that for what?
I think I've come to terms with the fact that I probably wasn't craving marriage growing up because I always said I wanted to get married. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And I don't not want to get married, but I think that it was just more so the wedding.
Yeah,
So
and I think it's like a fun event. It's like having a fun birthday party. You want to have a fun
so why
wedding.
not just do that? Because that's what I'm gonna do. Just have a big 40th birthday party. It's gonna be wedding thing. How about that?
Yeah, do that. I'm probably gonna elope. So
Yeah. That seems like the best thing.
yeah, I ain't got time to be arguing with folks about who gonna be in a bridal party, paying $40,000 for some lobster tails that's gonna be cold by the time I get to them.
Yeah.
A DJ that's gonna, I'm just, it just seems like a lot of work. But I do think it's now, granted, getting married, moving in together, that is a big deal. So I can understand the ceremony that's what people want to like initiate that. But after them 3 hours is over, it's like, why you ain't clean the sink? Why you ain't wash the dishes?
Ugh.
Why you forget this? You're not gonna be like, but baby, I got you them lobster tails.
I get irritated about stuff like that, but you know what happens? Like I try not to be because I don't want to ever sound like I feel like in my longest relationship, I felt like a mama. Like whenever something was out
Oh,
of
me,
place, it
me
was like
too.
whenever things were out of place or something needs to be done, I had to physically or just be like, "Why are you doing this? You need to do this. Put this right here." Or da da da
It's
da.
like you raising a grown man. I've been there before, and it's
So now,
irritating because it's like, why isn't this a natural? Why aren't you naturally throwing trash away?
exactly. So in my
I
head, I'm
want to
like,
see
I
one.
don't think that people, everybody's raised different. So you have to kind of show them stuff. So now my way of doing it is when I see them doing something wrong, while I'm having the conversation with you eye to eye, I'm fixing it because I want you
Yeah,
to
you
see
got
what
to,
I'm
and I don't want
doing.
to hear that raised different because at 33, you know how to clean up.
Some people don't. I'm telling you. I'm
Have
telling
you had a
you.
job before? Everybody's
I'm
job has
telling
involved
you.
cleanliness.
We literally have part service. Uh,
Okay, we need to move on.
we have part service these last girl. I ain't
Let me tell you something. One time I was in Alabama. I was in Opelika, Alabama, y'all,
okay, like
right outside of Auburn. Opelika, not
uh-uh,
Opelika.
not to be
Well, I met this
confused.
girl working at the Spectrum store, and she was like, "Oh, I told her I lived in Atlanta. She was like, "Oh, I got friends that live in Atlanta, but they live in Austell." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's not far." Telling her I live in Cobb, blah blah blah. But she was like, "Oh, my cousin, you might know him. He used to work at Six Flags, and his name was such and such. He worked in part service, and I kid you not, he was one of them part service dudes. They used to always had the money." It was literally one of them. I said, "Girl, I'm not even lying to you. I know exactly who your cousin is, and I'm out here in country Alabama.
That's crazy. See what I'm saying?
It's a small
That's
world." But
crazy.
anyway,
But no,
what
but I always tell people because people be talking crap about them cleanup videos and stuff, and I was one of them. But then, um,
you
I,
realize people needed them?
bruh, I saw the boy. The boy was spraying Lysol in the tub to clean it out.
Lysol.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I can't lie. I do be wiping stuff down with Lysol wipes, but not the tub. I use
Okay.
my countertops with the wipes.
He was spraying the spray and wiping down with a rag like it was cleaning the tub.
Oh my god.
So those little videos and stuff that people be doing in my head now, I'm like, okay, they need this. They need to know how to make up a bed. They need to know how to wash their body. I mean, little
Oh my
little
god.
stuff like that. Like you
Bro,
don't.
the thought of people not taking good showers literally I
So me personally, I have taught so many people. Let's just say I've taught so many people how to be to have good hygiene. I mean, adults.
mm,
It's
mm.
so bad, and I don't feel bad after I do it. I just be like, I'm the type of friend where, first of all, I don't like smells. I'm literally sitting here fidgeting because I cooked some food last night, and that's why my door is open, and I feel like I smell it, and it's irritating me. Like I hate smells, I hate stenches, I hate it. And so if you
Yeah.
stink and your breath stink, it don't matter if it's a breath. I won't be rude and like, oh girl, you musty. I'll be like, you need to try this. Like, or I'm
You
like,
be thirsty? Try this. Don't drink it though. Just spit it out. And whole time is Listerine.
you should try this. I'm like, and I give a backstory behind like if they breath stink, I'm like, you should try this. It's good for smokers. It get rid of
Oh,
like
that's
all of
okay.
the,
That's
you
real
know what I'm
good.
saying.
Yeah,
I
if
try
you
to
a
clean it
smoker, that
up.
means your insurance costs too much.
I
Get
try
you
to
one of
clean it up
them.
but I was taught the other way. Like I had a rude ass sister, so if I was musty, if something was going on, my sister had no problem with just telling it to me
So
directly.
you learn how to properly approach folks with it off of how.
Yeah, because it was like my mama wasn't like that. My mama was very soft in her approach for the most part, but my sister, I'm like, girl, okay, I know. Like
Yeah, she
I remember
definitely.
my sister dogged me so bad one time when I was like, I ain't gonna never forget it, and I probably wasn't musty again ever again. I'm 33. I was probably
Sometimes
like,
bullying works.
it worked that day. I think I was probably maybe 12 or 13, just becoming a teenager. My sister was like going so crazy because she said I was musty. She was like telling me I smelled so bad that she was pouring Fabuloso in my laundry
Okay.
water. So she put detergent. She was like, she literally went down the list and was like, "You only use Gain. You put the Gain in there because you need to get this out." And then she poured Fabuloso in the laundry.
Oh, I know your skin was itching.
But
It probably worked. Fabuloso, that
but
girl.
it got out. It got out. I'm telling you, and let me tell you something. She lit like my sister. Whatever. I ain't gonna go that deep, but shout out to the girls who teach people how to bathe correctly.
You you can't bathe by yourself.
She was on to something.
All right. All right, so we got a little bit of sad news. Nene Leak's son Brent, who is just 23, suffered from heart failure and a stroke earlier this month, which is extremely scary.
Yeah,
23 years
23
old.
years old.
Yeah, man. I saw a lot of wild comments about his weight, which is crazy because he's not even a big dude. He's a tall dude. He's not even like, what I'm saying, like a little. I think they might be confusing him with his older brother. No shade.
Yeah,
But it's actually really scary. She said she thinks the doctors could be tying it to COVID that he didn't even know he might have had, and that's if that's what the case is. But it's really scary. I know the girlies are very comfortable acting like COVID is gone, and while cases have gone down, people are still asymptomatic, and so it does attack the respiratory system. And to deal with that at 23 and having lost your dad a year prior is, I can't imagine either one of them what they're dealing with. Nene and her son and her other son, like it's just like it's really scary. So I'm just checking in to tell people to even though I don't know if this could have really been prevented, just go to your doctor's visits frequently, check your blood levels, check your all that, check your everything, your booty hole, your mouth, your ears, your throat.
you had to go there.
Men get I'm saying colon cancer exams. Chadwick Boseman had colon cancer.
I know.
And he was younger than the age that they typically expect you to get tested for it. So,
Mm.
stay on top of it, y'all. Do all you can. Everything cannot be prevented, but preventative measures can save a life.
I hate to be this person, but I do. I did kind of want to talk about it because I want to hear your thoughts. So, some tapes were dropped by Miss Candace Owens, and this lady gonna dig up some
You mean
tapes.
dropped by Kanye West too, Candace
There
Owens.
we go. um of a conversation between Kim and Ray J, and she was trying to basically have people go against Kim because she was talking down on Whitney Houston, calling her crackhead and all this other stuff. And honestly, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna be done with it. Um, I witnessed the whole black community poke fun at Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson for probably their whole career.
Yeah, literally their
At
whole career,
least,
our whole
at least,
lives.
yeah, I was about to say at least my whole life. And the fact that Kim was dating dating Ray J, who was dating Whitney Houston. The fact that that was a thing. If
And
my
everybody
ex,
thought that was off. Let's not act like we looked at it as a normal
we
situation.
did,
Everybody thought something was wrong with that.
yeah, it was insane. Um, if you dated my man, it's up. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just I don't.
All right, I was not
And
expecting.
rest in peace, Nippy. I'm sorry, I love Whitney to death, but it don't matter who you are. Like you could be Beyonce. If my nigga was dating Beyonce and she was causing drama, it's up about me. I'm sorry.
What you gonna say about Beyonce? That she
I
got a
don't.
BBL?
I wouldn't even want to think of her in that light. So we just gonna keep it cute. But I'm just saying, I'm just giving an example. If Michelle Obama is my boyfriend's ex, and she started to try to be messy and stuff like that, I'm gonna call her name. So
Never let them see you sweat, man.
that freaking tape did not move me. I was literally not moved like by a grain of rice. I'm just like, girl, what? Like it's a typical I'm done with you voicemail. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't think that that was the worst of what she got. I feel like they're trying to do a build up. Cause she said that she had a video of Kim straight calling her a crackhead, but she didn't release it. It's like an hour long. But yeah, I mean, I when I listened to it, I in that particular clip when she said crack is surely not whack with y'all. First of all, the girl can't read, and when I mean read, I mean she can't roast. Okay, so this
Yeah.
was this was her attempt at roasting. But I do understand. I didn't feel a way up based off what she was saying because it seemed like her and Ray J was kicking it, and he just left her in the dust to be with Whitney Houston, which was a wild, again, everybody thought that that was a wild mashup. Okay, let's not act crazy. We
I also
definitely
hope
thought
that
that
this
was.
I also hope that this ain't got nothing to do with Ray J's like suicide attempt the other day or something.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
I don't know what. Oh, that's actually really scary. I don't know what that was about, and I don't think so. I think this is all Kanye's doing in an attempt to make Kim look worse and worse and worse. And the thing about it, Kanye has reached a level where he can't even be exposed. You could say that he chewed off kitty cat heads, and he'll be like, God sacrificed. I'm with God. Anyway,
the biggest artists be the biggest weirdos.
weirdos, right?
Mm.
Just ignore it. Hopefully it goes away.
Stop on it like a roach. All right.
Um, I'm
Did you
so
did
tired.
you have an actual topic or no? We were just going on.
I don't even have a topic. I hadn't even planned for this episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been so busy, y'all. You know, there's a couple things I want to talk about. Actually, I don't know if this is gonna be a topic, but this is something of this has occurred to me over the last couple of weeks. Okay, are we done with shot talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think that we grew up in the hood. We talk about this all the time, and a lot of in the hood, when people talk about getting jobs, it's always typically like fast food, right?
Yeah.
People think that their capacity, their ability is limited to fast food, working somewhere where they're not paying much because they either don't have a diploma, don't have experience, don't have the skills, or don't have a college degree. But over the last several years, I have come across so many non-degree career fields that pay extremely well. And I just wish that we were exposed to that younger. Like, I have a friend recently who started working for the railroad system, like Norfolk Southern. There's another one called I don't remember the names, like Amtrak, things like that. And they have like dispatch jobs, train operator jobs paying 80K, 90K, 100K straight out the gate in a union job, no degree. And while these may not be the fun jobs or the jobs that I would do or the jobs that you would do, somebody will do them, especially for that kind of money. But I think that people get trapped into thinking they got to work at American Deli. And this is not a read, this is not not shade, but a lot of our people mindset is limited to those kind of jobs because that's what it was advertised to us. And I actually learned a little bit about this in that crack documentary on how McDonald's pretty much targeted the black community as like a career path. And so people looked at working at McDonald's as like the job they was just gonna work at.
Mm.
Do you remember when we were little in school? They'd be like, even at McDonald's, you got to have a diploma to get a job. They used to always say stuff like that. So we would think that, okay, well, not McDonald's, then what about Crystals? I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the people I grew up with, there are people that I graduated from high school with right now and still are working in fast food. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you're growing. However, I think that there's a lot of career fields that people just did not know about, and it also led to the reason why so many people would just go to college because they thought that's what they were supposed to do, and they would drop out, flunk out, or graduate and not get a job in their field because they have no idea what exists out there in the world for them.
Mm.
For example, like there are people like I didn't know, and this is obviously case by case. So we talked about the railroad thing. There are people that can work for airlines, working in like gay age. I don't know. I just feel like I just come across all these well paying jobs I just did not know existed when I was younger. That I wish that people may not be in a predicament they are if they would have done it. And some people might not even went to school and accumulated all this student debt if they would have just taken this path. So I don't know who to blame for if it's the school system, the counselors, it's a community issue. But yeah, I just think about it a lot because I think about how hard it was for me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, and I even and the fact that I went to college, which is not a guaranteed job thing. But even like how you got into makeup, like imagine if you were able to tackle on makeup earlier on,
Oh
or if you
wow.
even knew there was something, you know what I mean? If there was like some kind of way, and then, I mean, obviously, I think in the social media era, you probably would have had a different experience. But I just think when we were younger, it's just so many things like people working in dental offices, people working for at the orthodontist office, everybody can do braces. Everybody like they all rotate positions. It's just so many different things. That I'm like, how would I have? Because I remember when I worked at that when I first got a job at the Apple store, I had a coworker that used to work in a dental office, and I at this time I was what like 23 something like that, and I just be like, oh, you can do that. In my mind, you had to be a dentist to work like and
As
knowing
a
everybody in there
dental
is not a dentist.
assistant.
Yes, I'm like, why didn't I know about that? I could, and I almost at that point thought about like, well, if I go to school, and I think also schools like Everest promoted like the dental assistant and all that, but even some of those programs are a little sketchy too. But I'm just saying, I just wish that there was more guidance in the community, and I don't know how, and maybe those resources were there, but I wasn't in front of them to know about them. But I just wish that there was more initiative in the community to like give real life job training or real guidance or internships or apprenticeships, like stuff that expose people to different programs. And I think they did have that one program. Remember when all the kids in the city would work somewhere and they had them T-shirts? Remember
Um.
Upward Bound?
Oh, I thought you
It
were
was
talking
called
about
Upward
that
Bound.
other.
It was by the mayor Shirley Franklin's program.
Mm.
But they
Um,
would work somewhere for the summer and make like $17 an hour. Now I don't know what jobs they did, but I do know my dad had one of those kids as his employee. But anyway, I just think that it's really cool when you can give people real experience and they just can have a functioning life beyond high school.
yeah.
I don't know.
So my problem with stuff like that too, because I feel like you're not the only person that feel that way, and you're also not one of the only person that probably had the same feeling. Um, I think the problem is you just have to find a way to get it out to let these people know. Because I mean, you bringing it to people in high school and middle school. I just remember my thought process and how I was in middle school. Like,
And you didn't
take it
care.
back, take it back to middle school when we had that program with Miss Blackshear. Now,
And what program was that?
remember, so in middle school, we had this administrative person, Miss Blackshear. I forgot what she did exactly, but
I never worked with her in school, so I don't know what you're gonna tell me.
But we had an assembly one time, and she got on stage and she had a speech. I didn't even listen to nothing she said because it was so boring. But I was just laughing at it. I was like, "The bird is dead. You gonna let it fly free?"
Yeah, I remember that child.
Every day, I remember that part. But in reality, I'm looking back, just thinking about what exactly she meant by that. I'm like, I don't know the message behind this, but I'm pretty sure she probably was saying something really important. And my ass was
To
up there
be
playing.
inspirational, yeah, but man, you're right. I remember in 5th grade, Coach Hubbard said, "Today is the first day of the rest of your life." And we all was dumbfounded. And I never forgot that quote because I was like, does that mean I'm going to die?
Okay.
Like, I didn't know what it meant. But, when they talking to kids, they don't really know where our knowledge ends or begins. So I get it. But I do get what you're saying. Like, they are trying to get through to us, but our mindset
We
isn't
just
even,
gotta
that's a
find
great point. Our
it's
mind isn't even ready to receive that.
yes, there we go. So it's just like,
But
how can you? And then like by the time, and then in my head, it's almost a lose lose because by the time you're 17, 18, you probably don't even want to hear that either. You
Right, your mind made up. You ready to stop going to school. You ready? Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. I think, and that's why it starts at home and it starts at a young age. I think that I don't think that these are like quick fix capabilities, but I do think about all those times we would get field trips to go to college fairs, and it really was a social session. Like these colleges would have these tables set up, and we just would be talking to our friends, and the people that really had to drive already will go and network with them and talk to them. But when I think about like how these big organizations go to the top colleges to recruit, I think that some employers could go to these high schools and recruit. But I think that they wanted us to all go to college, so they would
yeah,
discourage something like that. And I mean, to each their own. But I just think about like even for myself, I went to Clayton State, which is not a popular, not well, it's a popular school here, but it's not popular nationwide. So the big companies are not really coming down there to find talent. So when I get out, my networking is based off what I can do. Versus if I went somewhere like UGA, I mean, they knocking on my door. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not for everybody, but most people I work with, they said that the company came to their school. So I think that we had things like career day. Maybe it's just the delivery. Maybe that's what it is. Because we actually did have certain things, but it's like if somebody come if I went to a school and I talked to these kids about data privacy and security, you think they want to listen to me?
right.
They're like, shut up, nerd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't think they will be receptive of it. You know?
That's why, but it starts somewhere because I think that even if we had the influence from our family, from our parents, that could help as well because we were raised around it. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe you're right though. Now that makes me think like maybe those opportunities were there, but we just were not in a place to receive it.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
how
I
do we
think about
fix
this
it?
type
How
of
do we
stuff all
stop
the time.
that?
I feel so dumb. I remember one day I was just thinking about how the college fairs and stuff like that. Um, I remember that game. We only supposed to have like two. You remember those things they gave us, and it was like a voucher to for a college application, so you wouldn't have to pay. So
Yes.
we were only supposed to get like two of them, but since I was like working for the counselor, she gave me like 10. And so
Wow.
I'm like looking, I'm like, damn, you so
She probably thought
dumb.
that you were gonna apply to all. She was like, "Oh, he deserve it." I
Yeah,
think I had one, and I applied to a school and didn't get in.
me
So I
too.
was
I
just like,
applied
"All
to
right."
Clark. They probably said, oh, he using this,
I think I applied to I don't think I applied to anywhere. I don't
I
know.
was so confident I was gonna get into Clark because I'm like, my GPA is good, blah blah blah. And I sent it and I didn't get
I need to
accepted.
see my child right here.
That was the only school I applied for. Yeah, she ain't stomach. She looking at me like she want to bite me.
I think I had wanted to apply to Howard, but I didn't know how I was gonna get there, so I just didn't.
Damn.
How I was gonna get there?
You could have got on the train.
What train? MARTA train?
They had Amtrak. You could have got on the bus. Look at hush.
Oh, stretch it out, baby. Look, watch this. Give me nose. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, I did like this.
oh,
But anyway, dang, you raise a good point. And this is why I never want to be that old auntie that's preaching to the kids. But I do want to get through to them because I think that when they're older, they're gonna be having conversations like this about, oh, maybe they was trying to tell us, but we just wasn't. How that's why people bring on these influencers and these rappers to deliver a message to these kids because those are the ones that they listen to.
oh.
You remember Teen Summit used to come on
Yeah.
BET?
Never
Yep,
watched
I
it.
think it. So I think it's the messenger. That's the
It's
problem
always the
because
messenger because even if you think back to just our personal situation, like the teachers that we remember what they said the most were the cool teachers. Like,
the cool teachers, which means they were younger, they cursed, they
yeah,
twerked,
they fed
they
it to
rap.
us they met us at our level. Mr. Andrews, Mr.
That's
Thompson, Mr. Worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like those were different teachers than Miss Nyamba and Miss Abdullah. Cause you
but even child.
That what I'm saying.
But I would listen to Miss Nyamba,
Same. I would. So let me
but
not
not
use her. I used to love her. Let me not use her.
Miss Brown.
There we go. Geraldine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
I
saying?
can.
So it's like you can get the message through, but like you said, it's just a messenger. That's why I wish
You're
that we
right.
could use these influencers um, to kind of push those type of things, even if that's not their life. But I feel like they'll listen to them instead of
Yeah, but it's got to be a different kind of influencer because I mean, no shade, but the rappers they gonna be like, I'm finna just rap. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, no matter if the rapper talks about dodging bullets, literally losing their grandma, their right arm, they can be like, "But you made it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And there's
they
nothing
just
wrong with
need
rapping,
an end
but
result.
you need other plans too. And I hate to be the person to say you need other plans because it's some people that talk about the teacher that said they weren't gonna make it and they made it, and y'all not gonna be talking about me.
Mm.
Dang, that's exactly what it is. It's the delivery. That's what it is. And I think a lot of times the schools work with what they had, so they can't just be like booking all these folks to come. And instead, they took us to Doug so Bill Cosby can call us thugs. Look at how that worked out. Good job, buddy.
You take stuff too far.
But I don't know. I always am passionate about career stuff, and I feel like I talk about it way too much on the show. But I do think about like, dang, you can do that, and you don't even need a degree. If I would have, man, imagine avoiding student debt altogether. That's crazy, and then making more. I will say this though, and it's all about what you want in the long run. Sometimes that money is good, but your growth potential might be slower. But it's all about what you want, because some people are satisfied with being able to just provide a roof, have their bills paid, not be check to check. Some people want to be rich, but I think that the desire to be rich is from being extremely poor. So it's just like
Yeah.
just giving people opportunities. And that's why I think about stuff like take your children to work day. Well, where you gonna take them to work if you don't work? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just a lot of major players. This is such an auntie episode, but
No, it's
I love the
not.
kids and I want them to live well.
I feel like people can understand this.
I just don't want my people to struggle, man. I hate when people, if you have to rely on government assistance, sometimes that's people's plan, but some people really just cannot catch a break. And I feel
Yeah,
for those
I
people.
feel the same way. I don't like seeing people struggle, and I try to help any way I can. But I also realize that you got to want to help yourself, and I
Yeah.
can only say
Gotta be trying to
so
grow.
much. Because I think that my problem in the past, even with just my close friend circle, is that I cared about them so much that when they were like slacking in certain areas, I would just be trying to push them so much and just put so much energy towards them that I would lose myself. I don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I started doing things that they would do that I normally wouldn't do, or I started wanting to try stuff that I didn't really care for before that wasn't good for me. You know what I'm saying? Not no drugs, no, obviously. But
That water.
oh my God. But I'm just saying in general. So once I realized like I'm gonna continue to be a person to try to be a light and helpful in any way I can, but you're on your own.
Yeah, I cannot. Yeah.
I don't have nothing for you. I can tell you, like, especially if you ask, and that's another thing. I gotta stop trying to insert myself when people don't ask. Like, I can see something for you, but that doesn't mean that that's how your life has to be. So I'm gonna just
Yeah,
shut
yeah,
up.
because you got to choose the path that's good for you. But I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, people do listen to my DMs every day. I get so many DMs about people that want me to help them with like job information and stuff like that. And I'm not nobody's job
And how
plug, but I
many
think they
people
just
actually use it on one hand? If you
yeah,
know,
not many.
you
Not
know what I'm
many.
saying?
I ain't gonna lie. I got people, mostly relatives, who I have given the same advice to for the past 7, 8 years. I'm not even lying to you.
Um,
But they gonna get it. They know better. They just don't. I think I need to take my personal feelings out of it because I know how I would approach a situation, and I want them to do the same. And they say they're doing the same, but I know they're not, and so it just makes it tough to look at. And I'm just like, all right, you don't care for real. Like, stop wasting my time.
mm, that's how I feel about
I
it.
don't know, but anyway, so let me tell you about my car situation.
Oh
I
my
have. I'm
gosh,
actually. I
you're
don't want
supposed
to
to
talk
get a new
about.
car.
Yeah, well, I don't. The money has been given. It's long story short. I got approved for my car loan on Thursday, and they said that they missed the no Friday. They said that we missed the cutoff for the wire to wire the money, so they were gonna overnight a check. Okay, cool. So they were like, yeah, we'll see you the tracking information. I did not get the tracking information. Now this is Friday. Saturday go by, the dealership did not receive the check. Okay, all
Mm,
right. So Sunday comes by, the bank is closed on Sunday, the dealership is closed on Sunday. The bank is also closed Saturday, so I don't hear nothing from nobody. I don't have no tracking number. Monday is a holiday. The bank is closed, the dealership is open, UPS is working, but nobody has received a check. So I'm like, okay, Tuesday, I'm gonna call them first thing in the morning. I spoke to them this morning. I finally get a tracking number. Tracking number was created Friday, like they said, has not been shipped. Today is October 11th. Do you think that UPS has picked up this check? No. Okay.
oh,
And so,
Oh,
I needed this. I was gonna use the car to drive to this wedding that I'm going to, and now I have to get a freaking rental because I have to sell my car on Thursday. And mind you, the plan was to have the car Monday. Scheduled an appointment to give up my car Thursday just in case something happened, and lo and behold, something happened. And so it's just really irritating. It's really on the bank, and I'm like, I asked them like, why can't you just wire it? Because I asked for a wire today because clearly y'all haven't sent this check out.
yeah,
It's just a lot. So I keep refreshing this, but I'm annoyed because the car has been paid for in full, and y'all and I can't even get it because they haven't received the money. Like it's been paid for as in the aspect of the bank, not like the dealer hasn't received their cut. They received. I gave them a lot of money yesterday, but it wasn't the balance that the bank is paying for.
mm.
It's so irritating. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Picked up by UPS. Okay, they'll get it by 10:30 a.m. Hallelujah.
There we go.
This real this a real time update, y'all.
There we
Real
go.
time update.
Look at you.
Okay, so if the dealership get it by tomorrow, that means they can ship my car out, but I still won't. Okay, this is the.
You gotta
I
be,
probably won't get it till Monday.
but when
That's
is
a
the
long
wedding?
story short.
Saturday?
Yes, but it's out of town, and I'm not leaving Saturday. I'm leaving Friday. So,
Okay.
and they're shipping it to another dealership in Atlanta,
That's
which is okay. I don't want them shipping it to my house. I want it in the hands of somebody who loves me.
yeah.
No,
Um,
that must have been a unique escape quote. But anyway, so maybe I'll have it Monday. I don't know. I really want it by Friday.
girl, I've been having some.
And it's only 5 hours away, but the amount that it cost for them to ship it was a little bit more than it cost for me to have a rental car, plus driving 4 hours there and 4 hours back. So I'm like, oh, just ship it. It just makes sense. Anyway,
I've had a really weird week this past week. I'm not in the funk no more because whatever we moving forward. But I just had
I was in the funk too, and it's really hard to get me there, but I was there.
I'm having a real hard time with my friend circle. My friends are beefing right now. It's some crazy stuff going.
Dang.
It's insane. I'll tell you about it later because I ain't gonna bring it on here. But I've been trying to mediate the situation, but it's getting worse. So I moved on because I'm like, I don't
Are
even,
they in Atlanta?
yeah. So I'm not even lit there, girl. Let me just mind my business.
But I can't relate, sweets.
So that I've had like three people freaking cancel on me this weekend. My clients, they can't. I had three people cancel. Somebody hacked into my PayPal and they were using a scammer was using my PayPal account. Keep in mind, I don't really use my PayPal no more like that because when people book me, they book me directly. Like they'll book me through text message or email. They don't book me through my site. So I
Yeah.
don't. That's the only time I use my PayPal is when people book appointments online, and a lot of people don't really do that out here. So,
They
any
better get with the program.
long story short, somebody done hacked my PayPal, and it's been hacked for about 2 months since August. They've been using my PayPal account to set up a ship station account, and they've been shipping stuff off using my money for the past 2 months, but I haven't noticed it because it was small amounts. So
Oh
it
my
would be like
God.
$3, $4, $3, but these are all accumulating up because it was like 40 charges. So
Oh my.
my cards had got closed because they reported fraud on both of my bank accounts. So of course it's a holiday weekend. My doggone all my money being my Wells Fargo account. That card got to be shipped because they don't do temporary cards no more. The Navy Federal in LA from my apartment is about,
Oh, you in Navy Federal?
yeah, I got Navy Federal and I got
How'd you get in?
how did I get in? I've had Navy Federals for like 3 years. I got in through my sister, through my niece.
I need to join. Well, I have somebody to refer me, but I didn't. Okay, go ahead with your story. Sorry.
So when I got like during the pandemic, I refinanced my car through Navy Federal. And when I did that, it took the cosigner off of my. It was supposed to take the cosigner off of my car, but it didn't because their name is still on the title, and I didn't know that.
Oh,
So
oh,
they were still on there, even though they're not a part of my loan. And so,
yeah, I know what you mean though. But I get. Oh man.
so when I refinanced it, they sent it back to me because they didn't have a certain signature or something. And so I've been putting it off for like months and I forgot about it. And so when I went, I was like, I'm about to drive this Navy Federal with something I need to do. Let me grab it. So I took it down there. They was like, I got me a new car instantly, but they was like, oh, you waited too long, so you're gonna have to go to a place like the DMV or AAA. If you don't have AAA, I'm sorry, you got to go to the DMV. They was like AAA will be the easy.
Triple A for what?
I was confused. I'm like, why do I have to go to AAA to do this? And so the AAAs in LA are like a DMV. You can get your tag there and everything.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I went there to try to like have. They said they have to go to AAA. I have to go to AAA. They had to sign some stuff. I had to do some paperwork to get the cosigner off. And then they was like, "Oh, this says Georgia, so you have to switch all your stuff over and your registration."
Oh.
They was like, "And your registration is expired. It expired today." They was like, "It literally expires today." It said right here. I said, "What are the odds of that?" So
Yeah, you
now
supposed to bring got a new tag pool. Now you got 30 days to do that. No, 3 months, I think.
I told them I moved here on September 30th of this year. So mind your business. Um
I thought your anniversary was your first day.
yeah, I can't get a new tag unless I get a small check and all the other stuff. So that's why I have to do all this. So pretty much,
Small checking.
huh?
Small what?
We out here, the emissions tests are called smog tests, smog checks.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
So I have to get a smog check, but I can't because my registration and stuff is in Atlanta. Or
Oh, child.
it's too much. Well, it's too much. It's too much. So I'm dealing with that. They're like, oh, what about your insurance? I'm like, I'll do the insurance later because I'm on my sister's insurance, but I don't know if they'll give me a tag without Georgia insurance or California insurance rather. I don't know.
You okay? Hold up. So
My car insurance is not switched over to California yet because I ain't want to spend all that money. Um,
technically, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
just was like, whatever, just I'm gonna keep it on there. But now that I have to re-register my car out here, and I have to get a whole new title for my car because of the co-signer, I have to get a new tag and all the other stuff. I may have to get California insurance,
Yeah,
and
you are. You don't need California insurance. Your address, because they ask where your car will be kept. You will have to put LA because yeah, you will have to do that. Yeah, the only way around that is by having registration in another, like keep it in Georgia, like keep
and I
renewing your
can't do
Georgia
that because
license.
my car isn't new enough. If I didn't have to get a smog check, then I would be good. I can just order
Yeah,
my sticker online for $20 and be done with it.
yeah, yeah.
But
If you
I
lived in
can't.
like an outskirt city, you would be able to get away with that.
But
Or
I can't do
Arizona,
that
like
because my yeah, it's a lot. And on top
I
of
get it.
that,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it.
but um also, you know how like when it's your birthday you have to get your little sticker?
Hmm.
$20, right? Now it's $350 for that sticker. So this registration
Oh,
is very
child.
expensive.
Yeah,
So
Godspeed.
I'm just
Just move back.
at this point, no, I'm finna pay that and just sit down. But I'm just mad because every year when I renew my tag, I have to pay that over $350 every time.
Good.
So
Sorry, Brandon
I
Hazel.
don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot, Pooh. I'm sorry, but let's wrap this thing up. We just went on a whole personal conversation,
We did. I
and
just
we
had to.
still recording.
It's cool.
All right,
Y'all can know
y'all.
about me.
Purr.
All
All
right.
right, y'all. It's been another episode of OD Podcast.
Hmm.
Holla at yo girl
Holla at your twirl.
and your world and your curl
Mm-hmm.
and your burr and your earl and your. All right,
And your
bye.
scooter.
Scooter.